Be prepared. That's the title of the speech that Tony Wynyard is going to deliver this evening. It's from the entertaining speaker, one of the advanced manuals, and it's exercise number 3. It is a humorous speech, and he has 5 to 7 minutes. And my role, funnily enough, is to be encouraging of Tony, of all people. He doesn't need encouragement, he's got enough confidence already, but I will give him encouragement, and I will be listening for your reaction to his humour. I will want to see him confident in the delivery of his humour, and we will all of us be watching for the style, the general Toastmasters style in which he presents this speech. With a speech entitled Be Prepared, please welcome Tony Wynyard!
If you were in the Scouts, the Cubs, the Guides, or the Brownies, could you raise your hand? Quite a few, okay. And those of you who've got your hands up, do you remember what the motto of those organisations were? There you go. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow HODers, and to our very welcome guests. A few years ago, I used to often do bike rides across many countries. I cycled across Rajasthan in India, the South Island in New Zealand, around the Ring of Kerry in Ireland. And it wasn't because I was particularly crazy about cycling. I mean, to be honest, in England, I rarely ever cycled. And I certainly didn't have one of those bikes that weighed less than cotton wool, and I wasn't certainly into all that Lycra stuff that most cyclists wear. And I mean, to be fair, most of my life, I've looked like I've been on a hunger strike. So the last thing I need is to be wearing clothing that would see me stuck at traffic lights and people ramming donuts down my throat, if I was wearing Lycra. A couple of years ago, I decided to go on a bike ride to Cuba. And so as I was doing my training for the bike ride, I was riding through Richmond Park, and I met this Spanish guy called Gonzalo. And we got chatting, and it turns out that he'd cycled across Cuba a couple of years before. And he looked at my bike with a bit of concern, and he said, "Why, you have no clip?" I said, "So?" He said, "You not have no clip on your bike, you know?" And I'm saying, "Oh, I'm not into all that sort of stuff, mate." He said, "No, but you know cycled in Cuba before, eh?" I said, "No, I haven't." He said, "Well, Cuba, the roads are really bad. There's pothole everywhere, you know. You need to have the clip on your bike, so you and your bike is one." Now, you probably may not have any idea what I'm talking about, but for people who like really experience, or people who are really into cycling, they have these special clips on their bikes, and and special shoes as well. And on the bottom of the shoe, there's like a sort of cleat, and this hooks. There's a special pedal on the bike with a groove inside, and then the shoe hooks into the pedal. So it means that the foot and the pedal are one. So not only do you get power as you push down on the pedal, like with a conventional pedal, but also as you pull up, you still get more power. So it means you can go much faster, and you get there's a lot less wasted energy, essentially. So when he explained this, I thought, that makes sense. So the following day, I'm at a bike shop, I've seen the shoes and the pedals, and I bought them. The thing is, I was going to Cuba the following day. I was a little bit cavalier, I didn't really have time to practice. I thought, I'll be okay. The guy gave me a quick demonstration and I thought everything's fine. So the next day, I'm at Heathrow, I've met all the other cyclists and got to know each other, and on the plane we're kind of chatting, and it turned out that I was probably the most experienced cyclist there because I'd done quite a few of these trips. Anyway, so we're in Cuba, and we've all woken up the next morning, we're excited, and we've gone out to get our bikes, and the bikes were really modern in the 19th century. They weren't exactly lightweight. However, the bike mechanic, I gave him the pedals and he put them on my bike, and he put it up to a good height, and I set off. Now, have any of you actually used these types of pedals and things that I'm talking about? There's a couple of nods, okay. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, there's this kind of backflip motion you have to do to get your shoe into these pedals. And as I'm cycling along, it suddenly occurred to me that they told me how to put my foot in, but there hadn't been any mention of how to get it out. And I thought, it's probably pretty easy then, it just slides out. Anyway, so I'm cycling along, Ade knows what's going to come out. I'm cycling along, and all the other people have got their bikes, and we're all riding along, and then the tour operator, or the tour guide, pulled over to the side, and he asked us all to stop, because he wanted to give us instructions on where we were about to go. I haven't even got to the funny bits yet, and she's laughing. And so we've all started slowing down, and it was at this point I realised my assumption wasn't quite correct. Because while everyone else is sort of pulling over and stopping, and I'm attempting to do the same thing, I realised that my foot wasn't actually coming out of the pedal. And I'm trying to do this, and the bike's doing this, and I'm getting slower and slower. And the thing about the law of motion and the law of gravity are slightly different. And when the law of motion stops, the law of gravity tends to kick in. And I, not so gracefully, started to slowly topple over to the right and slam into the floor right in front of all the other cyclists, who looked at me in dismay because I'm supposed to be the most experienced cyclist there. And while some people did have looks of concern on their face, the overwhelming emotion was of hysterical laughter. Anyway, a few minutes later we've all set off again, and next thing you know, we've come across this massive puddle covering the entire road. And as I've gone to cycle through it, my front wheel has hit a pothole that I couldn't see. And I started to lose balance, and ordinarily that wouldn't have been an issue. I would just simply put my foot out and regain the balance. However, me and the bike were now one. And so once again, I slowly toppled over to the right. But this time with the added entertainment bonus of a big muddy puddle that I'd gone smashed right into. Now I was giving quite a lot of entertainment to my fellow cyclists, and also to all the locals around as well. In the previous 10 years of cycling, I'd only once ever fallen off my bike. And as I was mountain biking down a steep hill that was filled with boulders, and I hit one of the boulders, and it was a bit painful, but that was mostly to the body, not so much to the ego as on this time. In that first day, I fell a further 3 times that day, until I eventually started to get the hang of how to do this strange motion to get my foot out of the pedal. The following few days, I only fell once, and that was only when someone suddenly stopped in front of me. However, it was too late, because by now, every time the other cyclist saw me, I started to hear the familiar refrain of, "All right, Humpty, how you doing?" Now, remarkably, I actually loved that trip, and I had a great time. But now, when I do something even slightly technical, I always ensure that I be prepared. Mr. Toastmaster.